Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're back live from a break. We appreciate everybody who stayed with us. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial to be a part of the discussion. SY is trying to she's trying to fuss at me. I'm like, give me a second to get your mic up so that you can fuss at me. I'm trying to multitask here.
I'm fussing at you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm used to getting fussed at. It never affects me. It doesn't affect me now. So
it affects
it's
you.
kind
You
of
just,
it's
you
kind of
know,
what did the phrase that you
that
just
little
said?
freaking candy coated shell. I'm gonna have to crack that.
Ain't happening.
Yeah.
Ain't happening. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. At this time of the show, as we do every single week, we profile a missing and or exploited child. This week is Josheria Gordon. She's missing from Chesterfield, Virginia. She's been missing since July 9th, 2014. She's 16 years old. She's a black female with brown hair, brown eyes. She stands 5'3", weighs 140 pounds. She's been missing once again since July 9, 2014 from Chesterfield, Virginia, which is a suburb of right here in the Cap City, Richmond, Virginia. She's got a tattoo on her left arm. If you have seen Josheria Gordon, please contact the National Center for Missing and or Exploited Children on their website, missingkids.com, or contact them, the local Richmond, Virginia Police Department, 804-748-1251. If you're out of state, call 800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. Let's bring this young lady home. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial to be part of our discussion here tonight on Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. We're going to continue in our what the hell discussion, and that's why she's giving me the face right now. You want to share what's going on with you, or are we? Do I have the okay from you to move on because of the dirty faces that you're giving me right now?
Trust me, this has nothing to do with you.
Oh, okay. All right, well, good. I'm glad. I could have called you out, but I'm not. I'm not going to let the world know what's going on.
You want to call me out?
I'm not going to let the world.
They ain't no different than me.
I ain't gonna.
So you could tell.
Nah.
Tell you smell.
No. I'm gonna leave that one on. All right. We talked in the tease of the previous segment about how the President of the United States had a little bit of an embarrassing situation that came up for him recently, a situation that is common, unfortunately, to several other folks. Here's what happened. President went to a New York City restaurant and he paid for his food, but his credit card got declined.
He ain't paid.
His credit card got declined. And the lady, the person, I should say, I don't know if it was a lady or not, but the person said, excuse me, sir, but, your credit card was declined. And apparently, they had a little tongue-in-cheek conversation back and forth. And he had to tell, the lady that, hey, man, I do pay my bills. But the fact that he was the president of the United States mattered not at all. And he ended up having to get First Lady Michelle Obama to pull out her credit card and pay the bill for them that night.
That's that backup chick.
So that's why. What you think about that, man? I think that's pretty funny.
That's funny. I mean, now he knows it's probably Wells Fargo.
But, did you just call somebody out?
I sure did, those lousy suckers.
Oh.
But, yeah.
You sounded awfully down south for somebody from Pennsylvania. We don't need the awkward blank stare and silence on the mic. You sounded.
But anyway,
okay.
I like how she didn't leave her wallet in the car. Good girl.
Nah, you don't. Don't leave your
Good
wallet.
girl.
You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Back it up, girl. They can't do much without us.
Well, now you tripping.
No, I'm not.
Toyana, what you think?
I don't like that they had to say that the First Lady, Michelle, was forced to pick up the tab following the hiccup. Well, first of all, a woman behind her man is never forced to do anything. If I'm out on a date with my sweetie and he's a couple dollars short, whether we communicated that or not, I am understood to be prepared.
It is.
Any means necessary.
Yep.
So I don't appreciate that, number one, because it makes it sound like, President Obama, and I love my president, but right now they put him the stereotypical black man profile. Okay, he's another man who cannot pay for dinner. So us black women have to pull him up. I think that's just wrong. That shouldn't even be. That should not even been the second sentence of this report that I'm reading. Secondly, you know what? Obama's credit card. Oh, I'm fired up because one, Obama's credit card got pulled on the tab because he's our black president. But how many other presidents prior to him had the okie doke slip as well? But we just so happen not to know because of that. Not throwing the black card, not throwing the spade card.
And they probably let that president go.
I'm just saying, why is it that everything that this man does, from basketball on the wrong day to farting in the wrong bathroom of the wing of the White House to forgetting his credit card, that's
I miss
important.
A fart story? I missed a fart story?
Yeah, you know, that's, I mean, it's sad because at the end of the day, everybody, our president right now, that should be the least of our concerns, is that he had a credit card that who knows why it was declined if it was declined.
Well, the reason that came up, because in the story that I have, and I get this from eonline.com, the reason why it was declined is because he hadn't used it. And it just wasn't used. And, we know credit card companies oftentimes will shut them down if they're not used. And if it's a credit card, and I'm just speaking about what I know because I used to work in a credit card company. If a card has not been used, then it might shut down, one. And two, a card is all about numbers. They don't see when it's swiped. I mean, the person standing there is going to see that you got the president of the United States standing there. But when the card gets swiped, the company, unless they flag it president, let it go through all the time, which I doubt if they do. That's probably how that happened. I'm not making excuses. I'm just speaking about what I know.
Okay, well, it happened to me maybe last month. There was a credit card. I had a new card. So I pulled out the new card that I did not activate, but it was just replacing the old card I have used on numerous occasions. Right. So to them, it was a matter of me, well, hold on that thought. I'm still going to get my crap. Let me just call the 800 number to activate this card, and then we can move on. And everything was fine. But I just don't like the fact that it makes it look like just because his card declined, now it's going to be, well, he don't pay the White House bill, so hell, electricity going to go out next week. Did y'all pay the light bill? Did y'all pay any type of bill? President Obama, Michelle,
Dominion.
Did they put
Dominion?
They put the cable bill in Sasha's name?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Really? Did the car note is in the dog's name now? I mean, come on now. I mean, there's far worse things to worry about. We have $1 trillion.
I ain't seen her fired up like this in a long time. Tell them why you mad. Tell them why you mad. What the hell?
They messing with her president.
Yes, they messing with her president.
They are messing with my president. And to me, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to get off my little soapbox. We are in a $1 trillion debt right now. And we worried about a funky credit card that he probably took Michelle to $150 dinner. Get real, get over it. And y'all, we got to understand, when he does his final tap dancing song, that's the damn bill we need to worry about, is $1 trillion, not the doggone credit card at some New York restaurant. Get it together.
And that's the bottom line, because Toyana says so.
She done dropped so much.
My signature statement. What the hell?
Oh my God, that is great. That is great.
Look, she mad. She got to take a drink.
Yeah, no doubt, of her iced tea.
She's like, let me get a sip.
Oh my God, that's great. Hey, look, man, that passion is what we love to have here on the show. So we're glad that you fired up about it. Like me personally, I wasn't nowhere near as fired up as you, but it doesn't matter because y'all don't have to follow how I feel about it. That's how you feel, then go for it. Say how you feel.
Leave that man alone.
No doubt. 804-402-2893. If you are fired up about the president getting his credit card declined and it being a news story, call us up and tell us. Hit us up on social media. Do what you got to do. We are here at least for another hour and some change, because SY is going to lead us in a segment after this one that is really going to get y'all riled up.
Y'all better hope I can stick around.
We got a couple more. What the hell? Yeah, Lord, please. Because, we know she having a situation in here, and we hope she can get through it. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial here on Ain't No Half Steppin' Marcus J. You're listening to the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio, heard live from the Den. Thank you to folks on TuneIn. Thank you to folks listening to us replayed on demand on YouTube. All right, that's why. Did you hear about the Baltimore teacher who got into a fight with a student and said, "I will effing kill you"?
No, please do tell.
Oh, my God. She told the student, "I will effing kill you." All right, Baltimore teacher. She's been placed on administrative leave after video emerged. I watched the video. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play the video. Okay. I've seen the video. If y'all want to see it offline, you can see it offline. If you're listening, you want to see the video, Google it. You can watch the video. It's got some cussing in it, and to be honest with you, it's so short that it just
don't make sense to play.
There's no audio in it that's worth the play on the air, even though you can see the teacher and the student getting it in. But she is placed on administrative leave. Video emerged fighting a 17-year-old student, slamming the girl against the locker, saying that she would kill her. And the article says that she said that she would kill her. But I saw that joint. She was like, "I will kill you." This is what she said. The beginning of the video was taken Friday. Shows a girl shoving a chair in the teacher's direction inside a classroom at Carver Vocational Technical High in West Baltimore, and later throwing a book at the teacher in the hallway. That's when the video shows the teacher charge the teenager as a large male student tries to intervene. Okay. Later, the video shows the teacher slamming a girl against the locker, at which point the teacher is heard saying, "I will kill you in here." City school official spokesperson Ann Fullerton said the teacher was treated for minor injuries and placed on administrative leave pending investigation. The student, she said, was charged with assault and released to a parent. The student's family said they are outraged by what the video says. Quote, "You're supposed to be a role model to these children, and you took your shoes off and physically was fighting her like you was outside in the street," says Nakia Jones, the student's aunt. Nancy Jones, the girl's grandma, said it doesn't matter if the student is a problem child. Quote, "You don't expect nobody to fight her like that." End quote. That's why you up first.
Man, listen, I know that the teacher is supposed to keep her calm. But if I heard right, old girl, chucked the chair at her and threw a book at her in the hallway, I would have charged that ass too. And I would have hemmed her up on the wall and told her the same thing.
No doubt.
I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to, but kids these days, they come to school and they have no respect. They say what they want to the teachers. They want to fight the teachers, and they think they could get away with murder. Back in the day, you used to get that wooden paddle on your tail. So now you don't get the paddle. You get live action with my fist.
Live action. Okay, all right.
I would have gave it to her.
Gives a perfect opportunity to shout out our brother Sid of Live Action Captions, who does all our shirts and stuff. That's actually what sparked the fight that we had in the break, said. So if you're listening, you need to holler at your boy. And that's why.
No, you need to holler at me.
Yeah, holler at that's why, because I ain't tripping. She is. I want to give a special shout out to my sister Melanie, who's listening to us in the shop. What's up, Melanie? So, Toyana, teacher in Baltimore, she get to fighting with a student.
What the hell? Again.
Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing. You up? It's your time. What you got?
Okay, this is what I work in education. No, I'm not a teacher. Thank the Lord for that. But the problem I have is this student is 17 years old. And if this student is 17 years old, is willing to buck up to a adult, whether they agree with her teaching style or not, what's going to be different if she was on the street doing the same thing? And I think we need to help these young kids to understand.
For the record, I am showing the video to the ladies in the office. I turned off the audio because the audio doesn't really help us, but you can see in the video.
She's getting dragged down. I think it's just she's embarrassed because she got her butt toe up by an adult, which needed to be done. Agreed. Mm-hmm. But I want it to be understood that if you're 17 years old and you think that you're Billy Badass, You need to spend a nice, wonderful 21-day vacation at a woman's prison or a male's prison and really understand that the actions that you're doing today are going to cause you those same actions and consequences for tomorrow. So if you want to fight now, let's see if you can really fight if you had to be put behind some steel walls.
I'm going to tell you what. Now, I took a look at the teacher, and you could tell that teacher ain't she ain't going for it.
Nah,
she's
hell
not
no.
going for it.
Did you see her body language?
Yes, she was not. She was waxing that tail. She ain't going for it.
But you see, that's a sad thing about it. When we grew up in the era that I grew up at, I proudly don't mind saying my age. I am 42 years old. I still have traumatic, memories.
I'm the baby in the room, y'all.
Just be quiet.
I have traumatic memories that, one, you didn't even want the teacher to call your parents if you were cutting the fool, let alone you being sent to the principal's office to get your butt nice and warm and toasted for your parents to come and keep it hot for you.
Yep.
That to me is something that has gone. It is sad. And these parents, if you think for a minute that your child is safe in the school systems, absolutely they should be, but let it be understood that when you allow your child not to be disciplined and you think it's okay for them to act that way, you need to also prepare them that not everybody is going to tolerate that, whether they're in the streets or not.
The truth of the matter is the children of today, the generation of today, they don't have any kind of fear or respect for authority as a general rule. That's just my personal opinion as a general rule. And it's a trip because I remember I was born in 1974 and my younger sister was born in 1979. And I remember growing up seeing the differences in just my generation, just in that 5 years.
Absolutely. My brother too.
Just in that 5 years, you can see the
6
difference,
years. Absolutely.
in how we came up versus how they came up. Now, I always said, and I kind of said it tongue in cheek, but it's kind of some real talking here for me. I always said that on December 31st, 1979, the last of the normal logical people were born. Everybody born on January 1st, 1980 and on, I'm going to tag you with crazy person until you show me different. And that's not fair. It's stereotypical. It's labeling. I get all that. It's judging. It's all that. I get all that. But that's how I feel because I see what I see. I'm sure the older generation said this about my generation. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. I'm sure the baby boomers think we crazy as hell.
But Marcus, how ignorant is a trifling aunt to say she had no business to get beat down like that?
That was grandma.
Oh, grandma.
That was grandma.
Grandma.
That was grandma.
So, grandma, where was you?
Hold up. Let's get grandma's exact quote.
And grandma probably 45.
Let's get hold up. Let's get grandma's exact quote. You're supposed to be a role model. No, that's the aunt. Hold up. She said, it doesn't matter if the student is a problem child. You don't expect nobody to fight her like that. That's what grandma said. So if your child is in the school acting a damn fool, the teacher's supposed to just take it.
So I admit that my grandchild has a problem. I admit she has a problem. But just because she has a problem does not mean that you're supposed to put your hand on her.
Please,
but when she chucked that chair at me and threw a book at me, she gave me permission.
This is the reason why I don't work with children anymore. When I was in college, I worked with children. I mean, I got at least one that I'm still in contact with to this day, 20 years later. Because Marky Mark let the kids. But I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. But in all seriousness, like I go to Mama J's sporting events. And I say to myself, there's no freaking way that I can coach these kids. I can't because I'm looking at them. And I'm like, I can see now. If I was their coach, they would be going home. Mama, Coach Marcus J keep cussing at us. He be yelling at us all the time. Like, because I know how I am. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to fake. And so when I look at this teacher, my natural instinct is to say, you're a teacher. You shouldn't be acting up like that. But then my other side of my natural instinct is like, if that kid threw a book at you
and
in a chair, you know what I mean? What I'm supposed to do? Just sit there and take it?
She's signing a dotted line. It's okay, teacher. You can kick my tail.
I struggle because you can't fight a student.
But see, this is what makes me upset. I'm not trying to cut you off.
No. You good.
That what she's doing right now at 17, just remember,
Yep.
she can throw a book in a chair and have that teacher turn and not give any type of reaction. Just think when she's 19 or 21.
Imagine
What's she gonna do
before the school
you know what I'm
season
saying?
ends.
How extreme does she need to be before somebody check her? I think I commend the teacher. I don't condone what she did, but I would tell you this, it's a war in the school system. I'm in it. I see it. And there's definitely a war in our community, and it's not getting any better, Marcus.
No.
And as long as these parents think that their kids are in these schools and it's a safe environment, parents, y'all need to wake the hell up, because you are only setting up your child to do 3 paths: death, prison, and they might go the right way. And if you don't discipline them or give them those paths, just sit back and watch, because that's what you're doing anyway.
It's funny because I remember getting laughed at and kind of joked on because of the way I disciplined Mama J when she was younger. And I won't get into the tactics that I use, and I won't get into the people that gave me a little shit about it. Let's just say I didn't beat her. I never did. I might pop her or whatever here and there. But just the methods that I used were a little, like drill sergeant-esque. And people used to kind of trip, but SY, you could speak. I don't remember, Toyana, if you had an opportunity to meet Mama J, but I know you have SY on a couple of occasions, and I think that I'm not speaking out of turn when I say that I have a well-mannered child.
She is very well-mannered.
I have a well-mannered
Very
child, and
well-mannered.
that is in large part because I don't play. You know what I mean? I'm not condoning what Adrian Peterson did, but I'll knock a kid cold out if I had to, for real. Like, seriously, you're not gonna disrespect me. And that's what I'm seeing in this. What I'm seeing in this video. Like, this lady was
Major.
like, this lady, and then see, here's the part that nobody's brought up yet that I'm kind of thinking about now. That's the teacher, that's the student, that's the relationship. I get it, but you looking at physically 2 grown ass women.
Yeah.
2 grown ass women, physically. And you gonna throw a chair and a book at me? Let me show you something. I got something for that ass. So I'm not condoning what the teacher did. If the teacher loses her job, I will not have a problem with that. I just won't, because I do feel strongly about there's a certain level of decorum you have to keep. It's, when you're in a position of authority, and I think that applies to the teacher and the student relationship, similarly to how it applies to the police officer and the male in the street. Just because somebody's giving you lip don't mean you get to shoot them. Just because somebody is a little upset and a little bit aggressive don't mean you get to shoot them. They pissed off that you are ruining their day by doing whatever it is you're doing. You're being trained to know how to deal with these people, so have a little bit of class and know how to deal with them, and don't freaking shoot them just because you mad and you can't figure out another way to deal with them. So just like Officer Darren Wilson needs to get charged, I have no problem if this teacher, gets suspended or whatever it is they want to do to discipline her. But at the same time, I understand. Now, if that sounds contradictory, I'm sorry if it does. But
I don't think she should be disciplined, the teacher.
I think that she should be to an
think she
extent.
should be disciplined.
She should be.
I do not.
I do. Tell us why.
I'm going to say, I have actually recruited in the Baltimore area. Those schools are off the chain. I mean, if anybody has went to school in B-More, I give y'all credit, because I have visited your schools before when I was recruiting. And, that's a challenge. You have kids in there that you have to mentally prepare. And they're coming from all type of environments. With that to say, the teachers are the same. And for this teacher, number one, no one signs up to go to work to get a book or a chair thrown at them. I don't care what you mean. And I think that if you went to work, SY, or you went to work, Marcus, and your boss threw a book and a chair at you, I think you're going to forget your benefits and how much you get paid an hour. You're not going to go, well, I'm just going to take this as human service. No, the natural instinct is going to come out. Now, does that mean that your boss should, get fired? Absolutely. But we're talking about a teacher who's supposed to be teaching a student who's supposed to have what? A problem, so they say. But that doesn't mean that she should have to have the wounds to show that.
Right.
So I don't believe that should she have some type of release. Absolutely, but I don't think that she should be taken out of the school system because of the fact that you have a child. Because believe it or not, I think she saved this girl. I know that might be weird.
Well, she will definitely think twice.
Absolutely, I think she saved this girl.
Throws something to another teacher, but I just lost my train of thought. But I understand where you're going with the teacher not being reprimanded. This little bit that they got her going. What is she suspended?
Right now, she's got suspension. She's on leave right now.
Okay,
pending further investigation.
So I think the leave should be enough. I think that should be the extent of it. I don't think that she should be fired.
Yeah,
I don't think that it should go that far. I mean, at what point can I protect myself? Where does my safety come in?
I mean,
So,
and that to me, that's a problem that I have is that you have. Some of these schools, they have metal detectors. Some of these schools, they have resource cops.
Well, let me play the devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
In the interest of time, because I want to wrap up this and move on to a couple other things. So in the interest of time, let me just play devil's advocate. She threw a chair and she threw a book, but she didn't physically touch this woman hand to hand. You can argue that she threw it and then she's away. She's not standing there with her. What do you say to that?
I don't say anything different.
Okay.
What's the point?
So,
She still did it. I mean, her hands did not touch me, but she tried to harm me.
But she's not a physical imminent threat once she throws something from a distance.
No, I disagree.
Okay. Toyota? And I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying that I agree with that position. I'm playing devil's advocate.
I've been in classrooms when a student got upset and they just, not threw a chair, but, slung something out of response or towards me or towards that direction. Pissed off, long as it didn't touch me, I'm good.
We're good.
Right.
We're good.
Right.
But I think when you are aiming it at me, your aim was great. I don't need your hands to touch me. Whatever you had in my direction, let it be known that you were throwing it at me. Then that's when I'm gonna have to.
For the record,
that's probable cause.
For the record, the chair and the book landed on their target. So I played devil's advocate just to kind of see what y'all thought. But I have no problem with her reaction, but I also have no problem with her being punished for her reactions. 804-402-2893.
I'll sign a petition so she won't get fired.
Is the number to dial.
I'll sign one too.
Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. Live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio. Thank you to everybody listening to us on TuneIn, as well as the people that are listening to our replays right now on YouTube. We appreciate the love that y'all give us. It's because of y'all continuing to come to us every single week and listen to our show. It's the reason why we continue doing it. Next thing I want to get to, and these next two stories are female-centric. That's why I'm actually glad I have a couple of ladies that are here in studio with me. Melanie, if you're still listening, I want your opinion on this one, on this next story here as well. This one is about, actually, that's why I'm getting this one from my favorite website, which is known as
Huffington Post.
My sister. This one, the headline says, the judge denies woman delay for maternity leave, then berates her for bringing baby to court. I'm getting this one. It says out of Atlanta, AP, an immigration judge in Atlanta denied an attorney's request to delay a hearing that fell during her 6-week maternity leave and then scolded her in front of a packed courthouse when she showed up with her 4-week-old strapped to her chest and the infant began to cry, the attorney said. When Stacey Ersman Mickle took on 2 young brothers as clients in early September, she immediately filed a request to postpone the next hearing, which was set for a month later, she said. In an order denying her request, immigration judge J. Dan Pelletier Sr. wrote, quote, no good cause, hearing date set prior to counsel accepting representation. Reached by phone, Thursday, Pelletier said immigration judges can't make public comment and referred questions to the Public Affairs Office at the Executive Office for Immigration Review, the branch of the Department of Justice that oversees immigration courts. That office said in an email it could not comment on the judge's action and that a complaint had been filed and was being processed. Now, Ersman Mickel's clients came to her in early July for consultation, but they couldn't afford to hire her right away, she said. They went to their first immigration court hearing September 2nd without a lawyer, then came to Ersman Mickel's office with their mother 4 days later on a Saturday to hire her. Ersman Mickel told them that she would have to take their case, that she would take their case, but their next hearing on October 7th fell during her maternity leave. She told them she'd have to file a motion to delay the hearing, but that it shouldn't be a problem because 2 other immigration judges had already granted similar motions based on letters from her doctor, she said. She filed the motion September 8th, and it was received by the court the following day. She said, Pelletier ruled on the motion October 2nd, and Ersman Mickel's office received the decision the following day, the Friday before the Tuesday hearing, she said. At home, in bed, Ersman Mickel was shocked when her secretary called to tell her the motion had been denied. Her truck driver husband was out of state. Her 4-week-old was too young for daycare, and she had no family in the area. I was in a state of shock. I don't know what to do, she said. She called her daughter's pediatrician to ask if it would be safe to bring the kid to the court. Bring the baby to the court is what it says, my translation. The doctor told her it would be okay as long as she kept the infant in a carrier on her chest, facing her body, and didn't let anybody touch. During the hearing, baby began to cry. Pelletier scolded her for inappropriate behavior and commented that her pediatrician must be appalled that she was exposing the baby to so many germs in court. I was embarrassed. I felt humiliated, she said. There's more here. There's more here. But wow, that's why I want you in on this one first.
Marcus, I have this thing about...
I guess maybe my reaction is kind of tipping my hand here, but I'll reserve my comment until after you guys. That's why you up first. What you got?
I have this thing about germs and babies and touching babies' faces and kissing babies in the face, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm disturbed that she took her baby to that courthouse. And I realized her husband wasn't home, but there had to have been somebody that could watch her baby. I don't know if I want to hear a baby crying while you're trying to do a case either. I don't agree with the way the judge, called her out. And I don't particularly care for the doctor saying, no, the baby's good as long as he's, hanging on your chest facing you. I don't agree with that either. So I'm a little cross with that. I'm a little cross between the two.
Toyana, what you think about this story when you hear about the judge that had an issue with the mom who brought her 4-week-old baby to court? Mm-hmm. You heard the setup. You heard SY's comment. What's yours?
Me personally, shame on the judge. Shame, shame, shame on the judge. As I work in an environment that people bring their kids to work. I don't have any kids. I hear all the excuses or the reasons why they are at the job, or they can't come to work, or they got to leave early. Maybe God will bless me the opportunity to kind of be a parent so I can fit in and understand what y'all talking about when you say that. But I will say this, the judge was unreasonable because if you look at it, it was just an immigration proceeding. Hearing. So a couple of weeks or a couple of days would not have heard anything. It wasn't like she was hiding the fact that she was pregnant. Obviously, everybody and their mother must know she was going to have a baby. But I just think this one judge was trying to make a point. And I still don't see where his or her point is. And did they say if the judge was a male or female? Because I couldn't find that.
Oh, it is a
male.
It's a male.
Mm-hmm.
So, shame on him. For her to have her baby in the court, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I'd rather for her to bring her baby with her than some of the crazy Lulus that leave their kids in the car or leave them in the house. It's an infant.
I'm going to say this. I am absolutely outraged by this story. I'm outraged by the sexism here, the fact that the judge would chastise this woman in open court, the fact that the judge would not allow this woman to finish her maternity leave, the fact that she felt so strongly about her duty as an attorney to represent these two young boys in an immigration case that she went so far as to bring her 1-month-old child to court.
Absolutely.
We can debate how smart it was to bring the kid to court. We can debate that. I don't want to debate that because we ain't got time for that. I want to talk about the fact that she felt compelled to do it. And that's outrageous to me, that this judge would not acknowledge that a woman has a baby and that she's entitled to her time away. How long are we talking? A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month?
Probably another 2 weeks, because normally you get like 6 weeks, I believe.
Well, it was
So she probably only asked for another
couple
10 days,
of
really?
weeks. It's outrageous to me. You know, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little surprised that I didn't get an aggressive display of outrage from you two, because I'm looking at this like, what the hell just happened here?
Like I said, I don't agree with the way he, tried to reprimand her in court.
Yeah, he tried to embarrass her.
I don't agree with that at all.
What the hell?
Well,
But then I can't. I won't even bring my baby outside until, when it's time for the doctor's appointment, and that kid is wrapped up so much you wouldn't even know it was a baby.
I mean,
in
I
there.
get that
well,
part.
first
I get
of
that part,
I
but
know, but you're not going.
that's
through
not
that.
what
I
that's
understand
not what
that.
I'm dealing with. Yeah,
why should we even expect a male judge
To even understand.
but I understand.
Okay, you're the 3% who will understand.
Right, but my thing is, just because you're a man doesn't mean that you can't
He
have
probably
compassion.
has
No,
no kids.
but wait a minute.
You can't have compassion because
okay,
you're a
he
man.
probably
has
has.
kids, but his wife is taking care of that.
He's an ass. Him.
Absolutely,
Every man ain't an ass.
He is an ass. But the answer to your question is, this is a judge who right now, the sad thing about it is, he probably had his mind made up to deny anyway, if you really want to put it out there. So instead of him being a man up to just say, you know what, screw this, deny, he made sure he used this as a counterpart of the decision that he made. That's why I said, shame on you, judge, because that was wrong. That was wrong.
I can dig it.
So, I don't expect any man, or including myself, any female who's never had a child yet, to tell any mother how and what to do with their child. I am not a professional. I don't have that experience. I have a niece and a nephew, and they got to wait till they get 5 words before they can spend the night with me. So I am letting you know.
You that auntie.
I'm not the one to tell
Girl.
you that a week
I got this
out of your
thing.
JJ,
If you
you can't have your child out in the air. That is not my forte.
I can
If
dig
you
it.
can't brush your teeth, go to the bathroom on your own, you can't stay with me.
I can dig it.
I can't do it.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J live from the Den Legacy and that radio. Last story I want to get to, Toyana, I want you on this one first. It's about the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena. It's a Russian tennis official. I'm getting this one from CBSNews.com. A Russian tennis official by the name of Shamil Tapashev was fined $25,000 for making comments on Russian television. He said that the sisters were scary to look at. Quote, I think the WTA did a good job of taking the initiative and taking immediate action with this comment. This is what Serena said. I thought they were very insensitive and extremely sexist as well as racist at the same time. I thought that they were bullying. Serena says that the comments that this Russian official made referring to Venus and Serena as the Williams brothers was out of control. I don't even want to read his comments because I don't think that his comments deserve a place on our show. But I do want to kind of bring this kind of to the forefront because, of Serena's reactions. It's one of the few times that I'll ever support her. I'm not a fan of Serena Williams. I don't particularly care for her at all. Venus is I'm more fond of, but Toyana, jump in here. This dude referred to them as the Williams brothers. Like, really? Really? The two of y'all are giggling right
He was
now.
watching comedy, and he was thinking the
watching
Wayans
white
brothers,
chicks.
It's not
and he
funny.
just
And-
couldn't get it right. Yeah, he saw the Wayans brothers. He couldn't get it right.
You know, I like tennis, and I actually am proud of the Williams sisters because they hold their own. I mean, they are, to what I know, have been positive enough role models in the tennis industry. And, you know, what's it say? You know, it's the eye of the beholder of beauty, you know, whatever, whoever thinks is beautiful or not. The concern I have is that, you know, Serena and Venus, they're public figures anyway. I know she took offense to this. I don't really know if this is really something she needed to really comment on. And I'll express to you why, is that I understand we're all about the bullying thing now, and we're campaigning about that, and we're wearing ribbons now. I don't know what color the ribbon now, but we're wearing that about bullying. And, you know, I just think he's just trying to take her off her game. I mean, if anything, talk about, you know, her tennis craft. You know, talk about, you know, if she played like the Williams brothers off a white chick, you know, if she plays like that, then that's one thing. But, you know, I think some comments are just made just for a reaction. And I think that's what he wanted. And the reaction that he wanted probably was not what he got. But I'm proud of her that she was able to.
His ass got fined and banned for a little while. So
I mean, and I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
But I just hope that it's not going to be always moving forward, that we're going to keep hearing more stories about, you know, somebody calling them a
let's kill it
gorilla
down.
in a skirt or whatever.
Yeah.
it's
You know,
just
I'm
one
just
of
kinda
those.
tired
I
of it.
think that I'm tired of it too. But I think whenever you make disparaging comments that are sexist or race based, you need to get called on the carpet for it, because if you don't punish bad behavior, you kind of give a green light for other folks to exhibit the same bad behavior. So, you know, you want to think the next time you go on television, if you're somebody who has similar feelings to this dude, you're going to think about it. And, you know, you might say what you want to say behind closed doors when you with the homies, but you ain't going to go on TV and say those kinds of things, because the truth of the matter is you can be famous and you can be all of those things, but you still got feelings. You're still a human being. If somebody says something disparaging about you, you didn't make a mistake. You didn't say brothers by accident. You said that shit on purpose. Like, you trying to be nasty, and that's not cool. You know, that's not cool.
It's not cool. I agree, it's not cool. But, you know, he probably was making a joke, and he just had an unfiltered part of his mouth. I mean, they're
just
attractive. They're attractive. Do you think they're attractive women?
I mean, I'm not blind. I can see what, you know, they working with. I mean, yeah, they're attractive women.
They're attractive women.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they do have banging bodies.
Well, I'm not.
All right,
I'm not a
so
body guy.
you're not a body guy?
I'm not a body guy. Like Serena doesn't do it for me like Venus does. But you know, I get your point. I
You
get
know,
your
so
point.
what is attractive to you, right? Obviously, he's just letting it know.
But
he may
if
not
I
be
mean, but I
attracted to
mean,
him.
I but
Unless
to,
he like
but
men
I guess
in skirts.
to speak to your point. You know, for me, it's not even about them being attractive, because if they were talking about Gabourey Sidibe, I would have the same reaction. You know what I mean? If Gabourey Sidibe and you know, Jennifer Hudson circa 5 years ago were the people being targeted here, I would have the same reaction. You can't talk about people like that. You just can't. You know, especially when you look at the Williams sisters, you can see there's nothing masculine about them. They're two very feminine women who just happen to be the best tennis players in the world, and they beat your little Russian girls, and you mad.
That's the problem.
That's the
you
problem.
mad.
That's what I said.
That's what it is.
Talk about their tennis.
Yeah, well, you can't do that. Ain't no hashtag markets. Yeah, listen, we're gonna take another break, and when we come back, that's why I was gonna tease you. What we gonna talk about when we come back? That's why. What we gonna
You
talk
really
about?
want me to give it up?
Nah, don't give it up. That's what tease is all about. You a woman. You ought to
Okay,
know
let me
all
give
about
y'all-
teasing.
No, let me give y'all a little.
I said something sexist. Y'all not gonna hammer me?
I'm just gonna tell you, run, run. Please don't trip. Run.
Ain't no hashtag Marcus J. I got Toyana. I got my co-host S.Y. Butler, and I got you. Ain't no hashtag Marcus J. Be back in a few minutes.